Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to touch with you a little bit on my physical health and kind of connects to the wrist issues that I've had and the reason I only have half a wrist to begin with. So I used to live in Europe and I tried to skateboard on cobblestone, so I fell a lot. Anyways, so I had several like little sprains and stuff here and there, and then I'm just always been a really klutzy kid, right? And at one point I tore the cartilage in my wrist and broke my foot. So I had to be wheelchair bound because I couldn't do weight bearing, you know. So that was fun, really great experience. And so I had several like little injuries and some big ones, you know. But I started having like pretty chronic joint pain. Like no one could really figure it out. They started running tests, and then with one of the tests, they looked at my rheumatoid factor. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's what decides if you have rheumatoid arthritis. So we've got that playing a role now because they looked at it, and when they take your blood, there's like a scale, like 1 to whatever is the max, you know, like, so this one was 1 to 15 and mine came back 25. And so they sent me to a rheumatologist, and the rheumatologist was looking through and stuff, and they couldn't find the answer, and they're like, well, your working diagnosis is just that you have arthritis, you know. Now, we do now from one of the surgeries know that I do have some arthritis, at least, like, there's for sure something going on. It's just, like, discovering the type, you know, because when my doctor went in for the wrist surgery, he went ahead and scraped the arthritis off to kind of help with some of the pain, you know. So that happened, and they just like kind of blew it off like that, and issues continued. And then when I moved to Georgia and had the 2 surgeries, the person that I went to see for occupational therapy asked me, do you have EDS? And I was like, what's that? And they're like, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And I told them, no, I've never even heard of that. She's like, well, your joints are very hypermobile. Like, it's something you should definitely look into. And so I started researching Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and I found, of course, several people on YouTube who talk about it and things like that. And there is an Ehlers-Danlos that is hypermobility type, and it would connect the stomach issues that I've had in the past, because I've had acid reflux since I was born, and just had like just a lot of different stomach issues, and then like I have a heart murmur, which can be a part of it, and all this other stuff, and then dramatic weight gain, which was partly self-inflicted, but can happen because of that as well. The reason it was partly self-inflicted, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, it's because for a little while, like 2 months, I really didn't eat, and if I did, I found a way to get rid of it. So anyways, we went through all the symptoms and side effects of that and things like that, and it just kind of all adds up. So now, the city that I live, there's over 1 million people and not one geneticist. So I have to drive or fly to the other side of Texas to actually see a doctor whose specialty this is. So that is what we are waiting on right now, to get for sure results. Unfortunately, with HEDS, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, there's no, like, they haven't found the gene that causes that yet. So, because it is a genetic disorder. So, they haven't found what causes that, but there are several other types, which is kind of why we're more going to that particular doctor to make sure there isn't one of the other types and my hypermobility has been like the main problem because it's what I actually notice, if that makes sense. Because I've had issues with my blood pressure, like it fluctuates a lot, and we've figured out that a lot of it has to do with anxiety, but Ehlers-Danlos syndrome can cause a little bit of a heart issue. I guess I don't fully understand it yet, but that can cause the fluctuation. And I have severe anxiety, which they've connected hypermobility to increase anxiety. There's actually a lady doing studies on it, more studies to figure out like what combinations work better, what part of the brain is being used that affects us like that, things like that. So definitely like a lot of the issues could kind of come back to that I have had in the past. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Right now we're waiting to get all the doctors. I just went to the doctor and they gave me Celebrex and something else for nerve pain. Celebrex is an anti-inflammatory, and I think it was Cymbala or something like that. I'm not 100% sure how to say it correctly, but it's for nerve pain. They actually use that to treat my grandma's fibromyalgia, and it worked really well for her, so I'm hoping that it helps me. The doctor thinks that I'm having crips. I think that's how she said it. Basically, phantom pain, where because there's so much trauma to my wrist and I'm missing part of it, that's part of my pain. And on top of that, we already know I for sure have arthritis in that wrist, because it doesn't just like, oh, you took it off and you're done. No, like it grows back and grows back. And part of the concern now is I'm 21. Like, this kind of stuff doesn't affect people as young as I am usually. So we're trying to figure out what all is going on, and hopefully they're sending me to occupational therapy and a pain clinic. So we're hoping that that gets us going someplace. And their goal is to try to teach me some ways to do things that are going to be easier on my joints. So that's exciting. That's the treatment plan, and hopefully they'll help me learn these methods of pain management with a more natural thing, you know, like one of my occupational therapists before had talked about possibly seeing if the insurance would provide some kind of like paraffin wax, because that really helps relax everything and all that. Anyways, it worked really well at therapy for my wrist. So that's I think that's it now for real. So anyways, you guys, thank you for watching and sticking around here. I'll try to keep you guys updated, and I've got another fun craft. I actually videoed one of them earlier, and so I just gotta edit that, and it'll be up either tonight or Saturday. It just kind of depends on how things go, because I still have a final that I have to take, and I've been really kind of dreading it, but gotta get her done. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. And let me know what you guys think. If you guys have had similar experiences, or have like some ways that you deal with your pain that might help me, definitely share. And yeah, we'll see what happens in San Antonio. Thanks, guys. Bye.